Today we launch our last season of AD podcast for this school year, talking all things Mariemont Warriors with AD Tom Nerl. Coach, how are we doing on this dry Monday morning? And the sun's out.
It's yeah, I didn't know what that bright thing was in the sky today, and then the streets were dry where we are, so that's good. So we think a couple of fields might dry out for today, and maybe we can get warm things up. But wow, just incredible the amount of rain. We scratch our heads and say, wow, our fields are wet, but when you take a ride down, Riverside Drive or Eastern Avenue, whatever that is, and the people that are moving their stuff to higher ground and having to get out, and especially people down in Kentucky. So you hope for the best for them. But yeah, it was incredible. I went by Schmidt Field Saturday morning and you could still see ball fields, and then went by there yesterday and can't see anything. So it's incredible.
So think
The
about it.
river,
So you and I have lived here our whole lives.
yeah.
Only three times in our lives has the river been 60 or above. I think
Yeah.
this weekend, 97, and then like when we were in the 60s. So it
Yeah.
hasn't happened very often. So it's pretty crazy how much rain came down.
They'll be putting another notch on the back of St. Rose Church this week. So
You're
the
exactly
parking
right.
lot's in the water, so they can add 2025 to the back of the church. So
Yeah, well, prayers out to those folks that are really
yes,
being affected by this because
yes,
there's a
yes.
bunch of people out there. So, well, let's jump into spring season,
Yep.
and I think we it might be a little chilly. The sun will be out. Hopefully, we can play some baseball. We'll talk. Let's talk Warrior baseball. Looks like you
Yeah.
mentioned that the game might be moved to Madera today with their turf infield to
Yep.
take on the Mustangs.
Yep. So yeah, water's draining off the fields, but boys are 1-1. A win against Clark and a loss on Thursday against Roger Bacon. They have turf as well, and so trying to handle conditions as it was raining throughout. But it's the same for both teams. But yeah, so they're 1-1. They're coming off a good 3-4 day stretch down in Myrtle Beach where they played their scrimmages down at the Ripken Complex and had a lot of innings of baseball, a lot of close games down there. So a lot of prep time that they probably would not have gotten here. Owen Betcher's four for six on the early start of the season. Bo Dieter's 4 for 7, and Josh Bronson's 2 for 4. So those are some hot bats coming out. We've got Madera today. It's scheduled at our place. It might get flipped to Madera, and then Wednesday it's Madera again. I think Friday Taylor comes in and Goshen on Saturday. So yeah, we're starting to ramp up the speed a little bit. Uh, just seeing how things go. So hopefully they get some good enough weather. It's going to be a little cold today, so pitch inside and
Yes.
take care of the hitters. Yeah.
The I've not been to the Ripken complex in Myrtle. Is it
Oh my
pretty
gosh.
nice? Pretty
Yeah, it
solid.
is. Between what they have at the complex and then they have a new community down there, and they built it's kind of like Mason. They built this complex with baseball fields and soccer fields, but all the fields at the city park, Grant Park,
Okay.
I think it is, are all um, are all turf. And so we were fortunate this time that we played all of our games at Ripken. If you've never been there, all their ball fields are named after historic ball fields,
Oh,
and if they're true to size, are cut to dimensions. And so the field that's named after the Polo Grounds has a big opening in
mhm.
left center, right center with a wall extended like the old Polo Grounds had. Griffiths Park has a really short wall in left field, a high wall just like they had in Washington. We played on Crosley Field a
Nice.
couple of times to those dimensions. They have a little bit of a terrace along the outfield fence, not as large as they had at the original, not as big as they have in Blue Ash. So it's kind of fun, and they have a plaque on each field, but the fields are full turf. They have two areas of batting cages of about 12 batting cages each, couple practice infields, some banks of pitchers mounds where people can go and get some work in. And so for a team to get some early spring work or some late fall work, it's great. And
Wow.
yeah, you
Yeah.
see teams from all over the country trying to get the same amount of work in. And we were fortunate that we could find 4 or 5 that needed scrimmages because you have to play them as scrimmages at that point of the season. So yeah, a lot of baseball. They announce all the games. It's a clean park.
Wow.
They do a really good job down there. And I've had my summer teams there, and our school teams have been there a number of times now.
Wow. It
Uh,
sounds like a great experience, Tom.
yeah, it really is.
Wow. That's
Good
great.
stuff.
Good luck to them. Hopefully we can get on a roll and
Yeah,
baseball you like to play every day and keep that momentum going and the arms fresh and bats loose. And so good luck to them. Hopefully the
yeah,
weather holds this week and start playing. Let's go. Let's talk lacrosse. We'll start with boys lacrosse. Looks like they're two
yeah,
and two so far in the year and
yeah,
hosting an always tough Indian Hill on Wednesday,
yeah.
Cousel Stadium. So let's talk boys lacrosse.
Yeah, two wins early on, right out of the chute. They beat Turpin for the paddle, kind of the little trophy that we exchange back and forth. It's an old boat oar, and they call it the battle for the paddle. And
Nice.
we've got a lot of years on our side, so we like to keep that thing here. Then they beat Fenwick when we came back last week. So a couple tough losses, couple come from behind losses to Waterson and to Sycamore, I believe. So it's still a young team, and they're still getting experience. So we'll try to tighten that down. But Vince Fiorina with 10 goals early on in the season, Seth Farrell with 9, RJ Nachioni's our keeper. He's got 17 saves, and Angus Gall with 8 assists. So they're off to a really good start. But a big week for them. A big rivalry week on Wednesday. Indian Hill comes down here 5:30 and 7:30. That's also our youth night, and so all
Nice.
the youth players in the system will come up and they'll play it at halftime of the JV and the varsity game. Head over to Summit on Friday and see what happens there. So hopefully they can get on a little bit of a good roll here and start putting some W's together.
Does Summit play those games at the football stadium, or do they do
Yeah,
that off of that's
at their stadium. So it's a nice intimate setting there. When the years when we would battle them in the tournament and the hillside there and the end zones would be full with kids sitting there and big crowds. So, but yeah, that's 5:30 on Friday. So we'll see how that one works out. Should be fun.
Yeah, good luck to the boys lacrosse. Let's switch over to girls lacrosse. They haven't gotten as many games in yet.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah, but it looks like
Yeah,
they're
they got a win on Saturday against Lakota East, 16
okay.
to 5. They started a game at Seton. I think they were probably about 6 minutes ago, I think, in the first they played a 25-minute half. So they got mostly through the first half. I think it was 3-1, and then the lightning came, but a good start for them. Again, we're kind of hitting and missing with some of our team there. We had a scheduling mix up on Tuesday, so some teams have 3 or 4 games in. We're coming off a spring break and that, so it was good to get the Lakota game in before we face Indian Hill, who's going to be a challenge tomorrow night. But Piper, with one game on the books, Piper Farrell with 6 goals, Olivia Ripatello with 5 assists. So a good start for them, and we should be back at full strength tomorrow when the Braves come in. And then this weekend the girls go up to Columbus, and they'll do their Columbus trip, and they're at Waterson on Friday. They're at the Columbus Academy on Saturday, and I think before they leave on Thursday, I believe we have Beaver Creek coming down. So yeah, we're going to make up some ground really quick for them,
Jumping
and
right in.
absolutely. So they've got some experience, and hopefully they jump in and roll off some good games as well.
Yeah, that if they can get have some success with those four, man, that'll catapult the whole season.
Yes, yeah, gets you off to a good start.
Great, because there's some, when that Columbus trip, that's some really good competition. I'm not sure what Beaver Creek has, but I know Waterson's always solid, and so is Columbus Academy. So that's good competition. Get them ready.
Yeah, Beaver Creek's a big school, big program, and they're continuing to grow, and they got a really strong youth program. So this will be a good challenge for them, and the team building that happens when you go out of town too. So this is always a good trip for our girls, and glad they can do it.
That sounds great. Good luck to them this week. Let's go to the full skim. Let's talk softball and had
Yeah,
some cancellations here recently. Imagine that. And
yeah,
you're going to host Madeira. The Amazons are coming over, flipping that game most likely,
yeah,
and then heading back there maybe on Wednesday. Let's talk softball, coach.
yeah. It looks like it. 1-1 to start. Run rule over Mount Healthy last Tuesday, and then went up to Indian Hill and took a 3-1 lead into the fifth inning and didn't survive the fifth inning. Just yeah, just a
The
lot of
wheels
bad
came
things
off.
a lot of bad things happen in the same inning. So not the first time I saw an inning fall apart like that, and probably won't be the last either, in baseball or softball. But the girls are working hard, and they keep coming back for more. And we got a really talented freshman class to go back with our upperclassmen. We have one senior, with Evie Metz, and Evie's kind of bouncing around to some different positions for us. But early on, Harper Stickley, freshman catcher, I think she caught 5 foul pops in that
Whew.
game on Wednesday. So
Wow.
little baseball guy, for a catcher to get that much action, and she threw someone else out on a bunt. So she's off. She's off to a good batting start. Allie Hill, I think Allie's hitting 500 for us early on. Abby Connor and Grace Winters with a couple extra base hits on that. Um, yeah, and Peyton Kiamba with a triple against Mount Healthy. So yeah, just trying to get out of the gym now and get some consistency. Shelby Short is a freshman pitcher for us, and Shelby, deserved better luck against Indian Hill, but didn't have it. But she's thrown really well for us, and so she's going to be fun to watch as she grows throughout the season. This whole team's going to be fun to watch. So as you said, we may look at flipping the Madera game to home today, and then it'll be home on Wednesday as well as they have their track meet. Thursday at New Miami, so that'll be a fun bus ride up, and then the Yellow Jackets come in on Friday. So a busy week. Hopefully it
Right.
warms up for us. It stays dry and get the schedule going.
Yeah, if it stays dry, you guys get 5 in, get this thing on a roll.
Yeah, yeah. So just get some consistency. The best thing about baseball and softball is you play every day, and sometimes the worst thing about baseball and softball is you play every day. So yeah, sometimes you need a little bit of time to work on things, and but we'll see what happens. So we'll work our way through it. We'll be back to full staff, full strength on Wednesday. So good stuff.
Yeah, good luck to them. Hopefully the weather
Thanks.
holds and you guys can get a bunch in. Let's go to the hard court, to the very nice hard courts at
Yeah.
Mariemont. Talk boys tennis, and it looks like their weather has affected their early start to the season, and things. It looks like they'll crank up against Seven Hills today at 4:15.
Yeah, yeah, a little bit with the rain. Not a busy schedule last week, but they dropped a close one to Sycamore 3-2, and then I think Fenway canceled their program, so we didn't have a match. And so kind of always schedule a soft first week so we can come back and not avoid the weather. But you're right, Seven Hills today with varsity home, JV away. Indian Hill right into league action tomorrow, same way. Varsity home, JV away, and then Baden on Friday. So three good tough matches this week to get them started underway. With our seniors, with our athletes that we have, hopefully we get some things going for them as well. So good luck to them. Good luck with the weather, and let's get some things going there.
Sounds great. Well, let's wrap up this week's show, Tom. Talk track and field, and it looks like
Yep.
things
They're
track
going to
up
open
to
up
there.
on Wednesday at Madera, the Madera Invitational, and then I believe they have the coaches showcase coming up Thursday or Friday, one of those days. So bouncing things around there. It was originally a Saturday. So yeah, we've got a couple relays that are going to make some noise. Some
Exciting.
sprinters that are back. So we're really excited to see what a big team for the boys. We got 20 something girls, 40 something boys. So just a big team on that side. A lot of extra matches this year. Try and get some different athletes and different competitions. And so we'll see how that goes, and we'll get right after it. So hopefully they have a good day at Madera, some sunshine, even though there's rain on the forecast. Hopefully they get that going. So be a good start for them.
Yeah, it sounds good. Good luck to them as things started. And Tom, as always, thanks for your time. Have a great week. We'll do 6 or 7 of these in the spring. Let's fans know what's going on with the Mariemont Warriors. Have a great week. And as always, thank you very much.
Thanks, Rob. Yep, we'll see you next Monday. See you, everybody. Thanks.